Hello, everyone. Welcome back to a pickup pile. My name is Yuta Jazz, and we are going to do where do you need to commit, or what do you need to commit to? I'm hearing what do you need to commit to. So this is going to be a bit more abstract. This is going to be like what do you need to commit to in terms of like of a feeling, mentality, or kind of like a vibe of yourself. Besides, it could potentially like mention obviously practical real things as well. So just keep that in mind. It's just going to be like what to capitalize on within your experience slash reality. It's not necessarily going to be like as serious. I don't think so. I don't know. We're fucking gonna see. But I usually kind of, can feel the vibe, and this one is supposed to be kind of fun. Like what feeling to give into. I don't know, something like that. So. Yeah, all of these piles, top and bottom. No, no, we are not doing top and bottom. All right, so if you want to pick with covered cards, please do that now because I'm going to start flipping them in one, two, three, four, and five. All right, so pile number one, number two, number three, four, and five. Interesting pick. Really good messages so far. I'm loving it. So yeah, pick whichever pile is for you. Before I leave off into like the piles, I've had a really interesting week, hence me being away, but I've come back to see like I don't know where the vibes have been as everyone else has been picking up on it, and it's really been interesting that if you're watching this around this time, there's a huge pickup in energy and high frequency and elevation and letting go and transforming into like a better level or just like committing to, I guess the idea of like your own truth or purity, divinity, whatever you call it. So yeah, I guess just like jump into it if you're feeling that as well, because there's a lot of it going around and it's a huge as fucking wave. Some people are already on that wave and have been for a really long time. If you know, you know. If this is a new like little message for you, then this is for you. Like there's a huge pickup in elevation energy, and it's a different type of ascension currently. So just give into it and live your best life, and. But that's about it. I'm gonna jump into the pile, so see you where I see you. Hello, pile number one. How you doing? So, we're going to also start doing something weird. Maybe this is just an exceptional fucking reading. I don't goddamn know. But like I used this deck ages ago, ages and ages and ages ago. And yeah, I honestly put it back to my own collection, so I don't know why the fuck it's coming out for this rating. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna use it in every pile, but you're probably again the only pile I'm gonna remember to mention that too, cause yeah, probably gonna still harp on it. But I hope you're doing well. And yeah, for you, what do you need to commit to? Right? I think that was a fucking question. Is a sense of growth without effort. Now hear me out. I know this is reverse, but it's kind of like upright. It would feel like there's that tediousness of having to wait for fertile, like, ground to start really showing your seeds or whatever, or just harvest in general, right? Not showing up, or it taking a really long time to take it in for yourself or bring yourself to that point of where you can kind of just let go and fucking enjoy things coming in, working out, you having abundance, prosperity. Instead of that like lull of tediousness of having to see what you've planted sprout and actually like develop and grow, it's coming across as like having fun and living life regardless of that because you're already maintaining and co-creating it. Yeah, no, you're in general like a person that does get results diligently, but there's like a missing link for you or key where you can enjoy it with more ease and freedom. You don't need to be in limbo. You don't need to be hermiting. You don't need to be working too hard, like an emperor or empress mode. You don't need to do anything. You kind of can just like exist and enjoy and know that you're on point. I think it's just like a question of trust at that point, right? Most of the time. Um, so let's see what extra information we can get from the I can't remember. I fucking showed you the goddamn company. It's on Etsy. You can find it. But yeah, honestly, it's fucking Page of Cups and goddamn Six of Swords reverse. I mean, that's kind of talking to the same thing. It's because Seven of Pentacles we can also usually experience when we're either building up to actually create something substantial and long term, or it's also in between of the feeling of like having to have had to let go and stuff like that, right? Having to do that transition experience of where something goes away so something else can come in, or a vice versa and whatever. And it's kind of like here it's just again reasserting the same thing. Like you don't need to be doing too much. You don't need to be moving into like work mode, hard mode, like hardcore, whatever mode, right? You don't need to be really leaving or transforming or extra healing or shadow working at this moment in time. It's a different type of answer. It's a finesse. It's letting go to live life in the present moment. Because I can feel it's not necessarily in the cards as much, but I can feel that you really want a result, and it's kind of like gonna come when it's gonna come, but it's the journey, right? Like you need all of those mini steps and mini days when it feels like this or that or whatever, and you're kind of just like sitting with yourself and experiencing all of that. So honestly, you're beginning a whole new way of emotionally experiencing yourself and seeing the world and knowing what to do with what you currently have and seeing the abundance in it, right? Maybe you don't have all of the things checked off in, let's say, just emotional fulfillment or having like a connection with things and what you're doing like that mattering, right? Because you can see it either validated or externalized in some way, or it feels a certain way, right? Here it's kind of like you're building that from the inside out with your emotional body and experience, and knowing that it's still worth it. You're still getting something out of it, and your destination is already concrete. You're just choosing a different way to move towards it, and that's about it. And it isn't easy. If it was, everyone would fucking be doing it, right? Like, think positively, just feel okay, like all of these things, but they don't work that way. Simplicity is a different kind of thing when it comes to these things. It's a bit nuanced, right? Nine of Pentacles. Well, there we go. I mean, that just reaffirms the whole thing that, like, your abundance is coming in. You're going to be, feeling like self-sustained for a very long time. And it is something to look forward to, but not necessarily something to just obsess and like validate yourself by. Because you're between the the seven and the nine of pentacles, there's still like a few things to experience as well, right? There's a purpose to the linear like movement of things, and you becoming like happy. So six of pentacles on the bottom and the sun on the fucking top. Look, you're gonna get it. You're definitely gonna get it. I think it's just like right now a lesson for you on how to balance like the material gains and the workload and the financial management or just practical needs management with the point of like actually living with the energy of the sun, being in your vibe, being passionate, being happy, having community or friends or experiences that you want in general with yourself in your all of your aspects and like internal fragments and different sides of you, coming to one, and it just like actually being worthwhile and creating purpose. You're just figuring out like the actual how do you grow that inside of yourself, How do you get to that point and develop? So, yeah, look for the positive things out there because they're reaching out slowly but surely, and this is like still a moment of fresh new beginnings. Fresh new beginnings. You can actually really benefit from opening up to some like practices that like invite that in or make you ready to receive it and to be open to it. Having your arms across like this and saying like those affirmations really help, right? Like I am open to love, I am open to abundance, I'm open to prosperity or health, whatever it is for you. I'm open to a happy life. I'm hoping like I'm open to connect or live with the universe. And if it's not any of those, still you can figure out your own thing, right? But it's just open body positions with meditations also can really open that up. Making a bit of a journal entry, like whatever really works for you, honestly. But it might just be like, something to keep your mind clocking on the same idea or visualization to get comfortable with it. 'Cause yeah, I can just sense a lot of like stress in the past, for example, and it's maybe still hard to click out of it as it's still like winding down. So yeah, commit to that is the answer from the cards, I guess. And I hope that this helps you on your journey somehow, that you find some peace and prosperity within. And I hope to see you again and hear from you again. Appreciate your time and presence, and I'll see you next time. Ta-ta. Bye. Hello, pile number two. So you got the only upright card, which is the Judgment card, and also like the second fucking major arcana. Yeah. So yeah, it's really interesting. I was about to say or think like, oh, in my head, are you like one of the liberated ones, or are you the ones that are liberating others? Because it looks like you're the Angel of Judgment in this card, which would symbolize actually getting really woo-woo and all that, which would symbolize like a connection to higher realms of some sort. If you work with, let's say, like ascended masters or divine frequencies or angels and the heavens, or maybe with God, or maybe one of the more exalted deity pantheons that actually have a connection with that type of stuff. But this isn't all of the pantheons, and not many even deities from them really have this frequency. Like this more is like divine source, creator of all type of vibes, like as it were, like the big business in the astral. If you know, you know. If you don't, I'm not gonna explain that. But it does feel like you're actually one of the liberating angels, as it were. You're bringing more grounded stability within the collective that is actually quite, I'd say, malnourished in some ways and still rising back up into life, but also into like more of the foreground instead of the background. And it's a long, stretched out fucking switch, honestly, and you're really, I don't know, you're calling in aid, you're being like an assisting vibe. You could be seeing this in practical terms. You could also just be a meditator in your own practice of hermithood or rituals, or just like even, a normal whatever person like living their peace. And having like rare conversations, you could still be embodying this energy, because this is a big varied group. This is people that are practically doing that by being healers and sharing gifts, others by just being a creative or a good conversationalist in general, like a person to speak to, and share about whatever it is that needs to be shared, having controversial conversations or more healing ones, building community, bridging gaps, also evolving companies and corporations like this. This is kind of like a big spread out like net thing of a bunch of people that are really rising up consciousness and like that attention in within people on multiple levels. It's really kind of like an experience of like feeling something real after coming back from the dead, like having a life just be very intense and full of life, and then having something that is refreshing to experience from just someone being around or talking or existing. It's quite a surreal vibe, honestly. Um, if you are a person that doesn't talk a lot, if you see like kids staring at you lately, dogs staring at you lately, or someone like, just constantly like glancing at you for some reason, and you're like, what the fuck, do I have something on my face? No, you don't. It's just is the frequency. It's really it's such a different air around you than around other people. And some people just can't help it. They kind of need to observe and experience it and be like, what the. Click something subconsciously for them. You might get some praise for this. I don't know. It could be from anywhere, honestly. Could be people, could be like astral praise, which would be like guides or something, connecting with you, a telepathic experience, or having like an astral trippy experience, a deep meditation, visualization of a journey. But it also literally, I see just friends and family and other people that usually maybe wouldn't do this, just come out and start talking. Okay. Whoa, 8 and 8. Look at that. I mean, fucking come on. You have 8 8 energy with the 20. Like, dude, like that just enhances the whole infinity vibe that you have behind this type of energy. Like, it's very ethereal, it's very multidimensional, it's very from the other side of the veils. And some of you are not very conscious of that. Others of you are very aware and sensitive. And it's very much working at like the core of creation, honestly. It's kind of like, how through all ages there's some things that are always just right. It's kind of like that. There's a resonance of that you just kind of maintain as you're going away from something. Is it? Yeah, no, this is your energy. So you're going away from something towards something very unclear and very unknown. You still kind of feel like out of it, or just kind of in the dark, I'd say. Like you feel like you might be missing something or a piece of yourself. It's kind of like, where do I go to regain that? Where do I go to like reestablish that, like kindle that fire, that vibe? But action is coming in. The thing is, like, all of these emotional things that you're surpassing and going past, right, towards this like unknown destination where you're just stepping like one step and one step, right? Every single thing you're experiencing is going to kind of be returned back to you with passion, goals, desire, fucking clarity. There we go, clarity, and like a sense of easy movement, but stability as well. It's kind of like it's kind of like a roaring fire, because Eight of Wands is still like the freaking fastest card, right, in the deck. Um, well, yeah, basically. And the thing is, there's going to be a switch out of where now it's maybe like going through like these dense waters, murky waters, and you're gonna then step out into just having this kind of passion override out of like all of those aspects, yeah, that were emotional previously. It's gonna be really weird, but very much like enlightening to you. You're going to be appreciating the point of things working out. It's literally like freaking alchemy as well, right? Like it's trading out water for fire, which is, yeah. Yeah, you're gonna see a lot more detail about this in the future. Okay, this got stuck to it. Okay, okay, so that's interesting. So The Eight of Cups and Eight of Wands is in your future, as I can see that, but the Nine of Swords and the Four of Cups is actually a little more like the current present you're experiencing yourself at. You could be anxious, you could be worried. You're definitely not feeling this energy. You're still kind of upset about what you've not really received or what you were left with is more coming across. It's kind of like you felt things led you on to the wrong place, and now you're kind of stuck with it and dealing with the catastrophe of it all is what I fucking heard. Oh, damn. The thing is, with this card, I really like the interpretation because look, the person's actually looking at that one cup, right? There's three leading here, but the thing is, I feel like if the person, let's say, had to travel this road to get to this tree, it looks still fucking dark and shit, right? There's still the moon as well with the unknown there, but if you look up, there's so many lights going on. There could be fucking fruit there. There could be like a lot of light, right? There's just a lot more happening there. So you got led to the right place, but you're still sitting by the roots of it, where there's still like root work or prime foundation work still happening. Like it's essential, but it's also very hard at a lot of points of it and levels of it because it's like it's very old, it's deep, it goes to every corner, of the human experience, the psyche, the soul, and you're finishing it up so you can actually, after reflecting with your feelings, have that absolute elevation. So currently right now, like don't threat too much if you have all of these ideas and plans and worries and like all that type of thinking, because I can see there's a lot of it. Instead, look at those thoughts, calm them, or respond to like, no, thank you, like, thanks for sharing type of thing, but this thought is not making me feel okay. I'm gonna instead like refocus my mind into something else. If you can feel at some points like you're crossing a threshold or a doorway or whatever, or in general, like there's a different choice you can have with your thoughts or emotions to kind of commit to the road of the unknown in this case, then do it because you are going towards a very unclear transformation, ambition, journey. Like you want the goal, you kind of have the feelings in mind, but everything else is a bit abstract and fucking like really hidden, to be fair. But you're on the road of receiving that joy and happiness, but also realizing like what holds you back from it. How do you still maybe accidentally self-sabotage, or what fears do you still have, or how do you maybe see yourself as undeserving, or how you need to be something else to actually like fully receive everything like clarity and understanding, a warm experience of life emotionally and mentally, things actually working out, you having companionship, like all of it, because it's a full package. Like these two cards, this is a full package of good shit, and this is a full package of not so good shit. Freedom and liberation and illumination, enlightenment, or being attached and chained to lower inhibitions and escapism and not really quite understanding any or all of it, just being run by um, feelings and unhinged stuff and mental obsessions or expectations, right? It's like I think these two cards got like literally kind of stuck, um, and I think it's because yeah, there's something that is chaining. It's like you have a chain within you where it's like holding you back from actually being happy and completely satisfied and fulfilled because you're afraid like what's gonna happen if I do that? What's actually going to occur? Am I free to do this? Should I still be looking around for the, worst of it? Can I trust that it? Am I going the right way? Is it gonna be something worthwhile or long term or substantial or sure? What there's questions, right? And then it's like, how do you deal with all of the other things that some of them maybe, you need, some of them maybe are just straight out fucking toxic, and others are just like nonsense chatter in the head. Because it's really weird when you get to something really happy or good, right? it's very common for people to be afraid of it on a level as well, and there's millions of reasons for that. I mean, guilt, shame, not feeling like you're deserving it, regretting your past, looking back constantly, looking forward and always expecting the worst, right? Being afraid of being like soft or vulnerable or open or excited or and hyper or just happy it's all very real. When you're understanding it, it's a journey of liberation, but you do see the shadow of the sun in this case, right? And we're both. Sometimes we can just kind of obviously elevate a little bit higher to that, I guess. In this case, I don't know. I wouldn't doubt the point that it would be probably very ecstatic what the hell you're going to experience with the sun card. Very ecstatic, like literally like ecstasy, and like peaceful and calm going forward with it as well. Like there's an electricity with it, but there's also just life and flow. So yeah, excitement and I guess whatever you want to put in with that serenity, tranquility, something like that. But yeah, very interesting pile and message. I really enjoy this. I don't know if I did the devil card any or enough justice because like it's really complex in this pile. Like the vibe of it is it's hard to put to words, but I feel like if you're having any like visions or feelings from all of the cards in general here, like take it for what you will, because yeah, we all divinate while we're receiving channelings, downloads, or guidance of any sort, either tarot readers or our own or whatever it is, the universe speaking through symbols. So take a moment if you get something, go with it. You're first seer and shaman, and I'm just a secondary, like, conversationalist to it. So thank you so much for having this reading. I really hope this helps in some way. Yeah, I think this might come back at some point if you are, inclined to have this more kind of roll out in my pickup piles, this pile. And yeah. I guess I'll see you around. I appreciate you spending your time here. I hope you have you I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful day. And yeah, see you next time whenever I see you. Maybe here, maybe Twitch, maybe wherever. But peace. Hello, pile number three. I hope you're enjoying your day, your week, the summer. If not, I hope it gets better. But yeah, you got the King of Cups reversed, and I'm currently shuffling with a deck I haven't used publicly for a while. It kind of became my personal one, so I'm very excited for the messages I will get. But you're escaping. This one I kind of fucking caught as soon as I flipped it over. This pile. I'm gonna stutter. I'm gonna be real and honest and say like I'm gonna stutter because this is an emotional message and it's a positive one, but it's kind of like a calling out message. So if you're not quite prepared for that, you might want to come back to this later on. Take a moment. I don't know. If you feel very, uncomfortable, if you can process that trigger, great. If it's like not, not clicking, click off. But you're coming back from or getting over like being slightly controlling, maybe very controlling for some of you, emotionally especially, and in how you direct yourself within life conversations and other things. I think emotional security for this pile is very important, and I think you've accidentally built up too many walls to go forward and experience like the bliss and joy you're being led to. I don't think it's quite here yet. I think you're about to be coming to some new experience that's going to be really important to you, that's going to liberate you and make you feel better, like yourself again. And it's kind of a little bit scary to start committing to that like 6 months out or something like that, or a year out, or however long it is for you, right? Maybe it's just a few months. Maybe it's over a year. But it's important to become that person that can actually lead into that experience rather than be constantly protective, secure, closed off, or emotionally controlling, or even manipulative to the point of whatever it is, right? The thing is, I don't think you had the opportunity and safety to be emotionally open. It's really weird that right now life is leading you that way, because it seemed like that was completely out of realm of possibilities previously, no matter how hard you wished for it or wanted it or shifted yourself. And you got really burned by it, and it's really hard to trust yourself and come back with that authority and power that you can still experience and feel the things you want, but you need to accept that you need to let go because this is like not only trusting yourself, but the universe should take care of you. And if the universe takes care of you, right, but you're still constantly like antsy and protective, then you still can't fully experience yourself. Um, and a lot of the time, the transition is like, how do you keep feeling into that trust? How do you face what's kind of rising up within you about how some emotions were left either unresolved or got kind of like stiff or stuck somewhere, created maybe unhealthy boundaries, or maybe just made you like a lot less free and easy, open, excitable, happy, right? Or just like not needing to control, right? That feeling in general is like very strong here. I don't think you've had a lot of that. And if you've had, it only felt that way because you did everything in the realm of like control of some sort. Like you knew on subconscious levels, maybe even to what to expect or how things are gonna go. In general, you just had like a subconscious calculation to how you respond emotionally or intellectually to then not really have certain other experiences. Um, and you're really moving into a new type of being where you let go of that authority, nobility, protectiveness, like you let yourself live, and life, you only really experience the great things when, well, one, you know what you want is a big one, but if you don't have that, when you're just open to life and it being what it's going to be, because good things, you can't just only expect good things, right? Part of like the story or stories or whatever might be the loss of those good things, might be little points of like other emotions or whatever it is where it's life. It might be a bit dangerous, excitable, dramatic, or other things, but a lot of it is also still love and vulnerability, and having to experience a mix of that with openness is still kind of like, difficult. It's a learning curve. So how do we get there? Is that okay, I guess we're asking that and seeing what the cards are gonna say. Oh, fucking the sun comes out on every goddamn pile. I fucking swear. Today is a good day. If you got drawn to another pile and remember those cards, then that's just a bit of a reminder, shout out to you that they somehow connect or correlate, or there's two different messages you're getting. So the way it's coming across for you to reach this or experience this or have this is to not be constantly in this position of like, I've been through a lot, I've experienced so much, right? I can't go through more. Where's the next hit gonna come from? Where are the dangers? Being aware is good. Constantly being in hyper attentiveness of overanalyzing yourself and the environment for potential harm is not. Um, attentiveness can be really good when you fucking need it, but if you're in a constant state of that, you're never relaxed. You're never actually in the moment purely of joy or anything. So here it's just reminding you like you holding on to that feeling isn't going to exclude those experiences anymore. If anything, it's just going to keep you stuck in that expectation. So, how can you respect yourself through what you've been and where you are and understand where you're coming from and, kind of like give that attention and a little bit of love, if not just attention, that'll be enough. And to let go of like, how is everything dangerous? What about how can something be good for you or fun for you or is it worth doing, you know? You're instantly going to say no to the things that aren't going to be good for you, but you don't need to be expecting the worst all the time. Okay, so through that process, you're gonna kind of like dig into whatever, where is that like journey to the sun? Because it is kind of like you need to replace those emotions a little bit. Cause the sun, you don't know what the fuck the sun is to you. You think you know, but actually you know more of what you're afraid of than what you actually want. So you might be able to say like, oh, why can't I find these things, right? But then it's kind of like, well, because you're expecting that or like the opposite of it constantly, right? So yeah, just look into how can you fixate and think about and look into the things you want instead of the things you don't want. Or like if those things you don't want weren't the predominary whatever thing, like predominant thing, how can you then just look to the good of things, right? And what I mean is, if you constantly look at, oh, I want these things, but this is what always happens, or this is how things go, or this is very normal, or, I'm afraid of this, then looking to the point of like, oh, okay, well, I'm afraid of this, but let's say every workplace that I'm going to go to isn't going to be like a toxic social shithole. If that is true, right? Or every workplace is going to be good money for me, right? Then how is that going to be real? And you keep going on that, like, oh, maybe not every workplace is going to be crappy with money. Then I would like this salary and this way of being paid and this amount of da da da, and you keep going on off it and imagining every different weird scenario in life that would be even from the fucking movies and just kind of like going on it as much as you can. Um, yeah, and you can do it with anything. And that's kind of like going to help you rewrite yourself from that like negative expectation because the other side of this is kind of like a yin yang situation currently going on. How can you alleviate self-deceit, self-sabotage, and lies, or like confusion around the things that aren't good for you because you know they're not good for you? You're just still doing them because you don't have anything good the way you want it to be a case yet, right? But you still know what's not good for you, and like giving into that, is it really giving you, purpose or service, or is it you being at a point of like disservice to yourself? Because I don't think it's big things, but it's enough for the like subconscious and psyche and just your like livelihood that it really can stick, honestly. Because even just us repeating like one phrase that's a bit too fucked up and critical to us can create a lot of problems long term because you do it every day. It's kind of like taking like a pill, right? Um, and then that becomes a new norm and it can grow out. So, what things are you being self-ignorant and deceitful about where you can actually like really look into not doing them anymore because you don't need to confuse yourself or say like, oh, this isn't that bad or oh, I'm gonna just do this now or oh, this actually helps me with my stress or I have these things that make me do this or I only really do this when I meet with that person and you constantly meet that person. Whatever it is for you, it can be different for everyone. It can be from addictions to socializing to how you talk to yourself to your morning routine or whatever what the fuck it is. You know something is not good for you and you could replace it with something good for you. Go ahead, start doing that. Stop ignoring those signs and feelings and nigglings because you are your own person. You're in control. No one's in control for you. It's just that's the fact of it. And you're smart enough to realize it. Don't victimize yourself. You are not worth the pain that it brings, basically. Like you deserve more from yourself and whatever you want to go through, you know? Oh, what an interesting like pairing. What the fuck? I like the readings today. Today they're fucking interesting. Top and bottom, is that important? Yeah, kind of important. So I'm not gonna read them as much. It's kind of just like Five of Swords and the Hangman. So fighting your own contemplation and reflection, like specifically like the pause of it is scares you because you wouldn't have it for long, but it's the pause that scares you. Once you get into that zone, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna actually find a lot of wisdom, but you're just trying to hold ground because I think there's also some external shit happening from some other people that are just not making you comfortable to delve into your own understanding because it's gonna change the dynamic. Like you're gonna realize something. So don't be afraid of the peace that'll happen with it, but that's just a recommendation. Like let yourself sit in reflection. Like take a day off and just be by yourself without technology or something like that. Whatever suits you, whatever floats your fucking boat. But you might benefit from that. So. Um, This is so interesting. So yeah, you got the King of Pentacles reverse and the King of Cups upright. So I think this is just bringing us back to the main thing of where I was reading it. I can't quite remember the fucking words of it, but the principle down here is you are honestly not really required to change yourself into being more rational or grounded in the way you're imagining it to be the case. I think you're one of those people that thinks like, oh, if I get like healthier, if I get into sports or like a fanatic on that, or I'm gonna start buying these things, or I get into a specific routine, I'll be happier for it. That's all I need. I need discipline. I need things that are like substantially worthwhile and productive and ambitious and give me goals and stuff like that. But honestly, you don't need that. That's what you think you need. The real thing you need is to let yourself emotionally delve into this journey and experience from a different side that's not controlling, manipulative, defensive, protective, or has these like huge boundaries and barriers up. Take your time. It's a self-unraveling, you know. It's not necessarily like, oh, drop all of those things and you'll be fine. Like that might be like shell shock, you know. It'll be jet lag for you. But thinking that your essence is not suited to be happy and you need to change to like an element that doesn't work for you isn't gonna be right. Some people benefit from a good, sleeping schedule. Others actually need a weird one that jumps around depending on their shit, whatever they're going through, right? And that's just their life. Others, yeah, they completely like screw themselves with that, but that's evident. You can see the difference. Um, you don't need to be practically achieving anything currently right now. You're gonna be good enough for it. There's just fear behind that nine of wands, you've been through like what to expect next. You've already went through so much. I couldn't like plant myself stably. I couldn't be happy or passionate. I couldn't be free. How do I protect myself from that? How do I keep myself like, kind of coming back from it and healing? And it's just by really exploring yourself as an emotional, happy being that brings more like naturality. I know that's not a word, I don't think so, but like natural vibes of your own self, like naturality came through. Um, who you are naturally, besides the fear, pain, expectations, whatever, imaginings, right? Attachments or imprints. Who are you really from the core? How do you want to feel? What is it going to be like? Letting yourself sit there and let your life go by, kind of come out of it together, because it's not necessary for you to be holding yourself back from emotional fulfillment because of like past pain and fear and regret. You're evolving, you're being punched to the next level, you're ready for it, nothing bad is going to happen, and whatever life is going to throw in terms of it being a challenge or other things or complicated, it's going to be different, it's going to be new, it's going to be worthwhile to experience it because of so many reasons, not just one reason, multiple reasons. And it'll make you feel happy overall and whole going forward. It'll open you up to new horizons emotionally. I think that's everything. Yeah, I do think so. I do believe so. Thank you so much for spending your time here. It's been awesome reading your cards. I really hope to see you again. And yeah, have a wonderful time, wonderful day. And yeah, send peace to you. Hello, pile number four. How you doing? So you got the Eight of Swords reversed. I don't know why I wanted to say Eight of Cups. You gotta commit to feeling like you actually know shit. Not all of it, yeah. Maybe at points you're confused on what direction or choice to make, but you see things clearly. You receive information appropriately. You feel the right vibes. I think it's a question of intuition. Some of you it's a question of logic or knowing or understanding, but most of you it's a worry of intuition. Of like, am I actually picking up the right vibes? Am I feeling the right shit? Like, because the thing is in life we don't necessarily know anything actually, right? You might be looking at a person, situation, workplace, anything, right? Having this one view, but you're not always going to be you're gonna always feel things and you're never going to be sure if what you're like picking up is right. The only thing that it really does is you go by a feeling of flow inside of yourself, or you keep deceiving yourself of like, I don't actually know this person. I can't actually say the like these signs are for sure. I don't know if these red flags or not. Or this person is too good, the pay is too good. All of this is too good for it to not be what I'm picking it up to be emotionally and or intuitionally or intellectually even. So it's kind of like just because someone you like is someone you like, right? But you see things that aren't. Maybe you feel things, maybe you see things, maybe something just pops up that you know is not really you making it up. It's just like it's there, and you can either give yourself the chance to like take a step back or take a step forward. Trust yourself because the thing is, you actually know. It's just scary to know. By the definition of still being kind of like blind, right? But having to take that step and trust yourself on what you're picking up on. Because the thing is, everything in life is resonance. Everything has a good and bad in a way, right? If you believe in that type of stuff. And if not, it's still always going to have multiple shades of color, multiple faces to it, and there's not always going to be that click or that resonance. Other times, there's literally like dark, stupid, dumb shit out there you'd want to avoid. And sometimes you forgetting your keys is that answer type of thing, right? Other times it's kind of just starting to be awkward, even though you feel like you could continue with the openness of conversation, or skipping a really good paying job because you know that something isn't feeling right about it, even though everything is check, 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 check on your fucking list mentally. So don't get confused. Follow your intuition, your gut, your vibes, because you are onto stuff. You actually are seeing things the right way that they are meant to be seen, and it's just very scary in multiple ways. Top and bottom is kind of important to be shown for some reason. So the Hermit and the Moon. This Eight of Swords has a lot of the moon energy with it. There's also a bunch of freaking crabs and cancers and shit like that, which honestly is just telling to me that, yeah, emotions are important. Emotions are important. This is about the situation. So you had something show up that took you out of your freaking realm, right? Like, out of your world, out of your closed offness or whatever it is, right? Like it just took you out of it, and it's kind of like now you're holding yourself back. Do I really commit to it? Do I not commit to it? Do I really get into it? Do I not? Maybe you're asking for it and you're still not seeing the materialization behind it because it'll be this experience. It'll take you out of your cave, out of your hermithood, but it'll still leave you with the feeling of choice and decisions to be made when you're not quite particularly sure about it. It doesn't all click. It doesn't all make sense. Um, Interesting. In your current reality or future, as well, this is more like future, but you might be already sensing this, that there's not a lot of like competition, there's not a lot of friction or drama or just like tenseness or friction is the best word I could use in where you're going to or where you're at or both. Social dynamics are really popping up with this Five of Wands reversed, as in there's not going to be a lot of people that are going to be in your way, as in you're going to always be free to experience yourself and figure yourself out and see the truth of situations instead of other people fighting over reality or attention or confusion or manipulation or mental angst or whatever. If turbulent things happen, it's just because people are people. There's not really an energy of like games or shit like that, you know? But you are also still in that energy of like out of hermithood, out of the cave. Do I jump in here? Do I want to hold off? Is there something else coming in? Is there not? How is there no fighting? Maybe even as a bit of a surprise, right? But there's not really going to be a lot of conflict. You're very much in the driver's seat, and everything's going to unravel the way it needs to. But you trusting yourself for the inklings is the main thing because I don't know, it's building character, intuition, trust, and it's creating a whole new personality for you too, right? Because when you have like this sense you can trust, it's quite a magical truth to have instead of just instead of just hyper analyzing things, regardless of how you do it and how well it works, right? Because this is more natural and it's more free flowing, it's more personal. It's just kind of also automatic compared to you know the signs, you're hyper analyzing psychology of the situation or metrics of some sort, right? And instead of you just having this kind of ethic and flow with it that's more natural, intuitive. So you're going to have an opportunity to take hold of. It's kind of like a prosperity opportunity that you bring in. You co-create, you nurture it. You're actually the one experiencing it from the outside coming in, but in reality, it's you giving it to co-creation or reality, because this is what you've manifested to occur. There's a lot of auspiciousness and opportunity and blessings behind this effort and intention, but you're not new at this. Be aware that this is to transform you and elevate you. This is not for any other reason occurring. And it's important for you to be constantly hyper aware of like being such a big input and impulse, especially in this shifting, this change, this scenario, this collective, this group of people or workplace, like you're kind of like the transforming agent, and you're aware of the truths that come with that too. You're aware that there can be all types of people, all types of moods, emotions, days, right? Situations and whatever, and how people act from that is kind of like on them. They're on their journey, but you're on yours, and you don't necessarily need to be doing anything or investing into anything, as in, oh, like let me do this or make roots here or whatever. Like you can just keep on living and flowing through life like with this kind of step by step ominous feeling of like everything being hidden, but still keeping to your truths and still taking on this opportunity for it to grow something. What's it gonna grow? I don't know. But let's say you find a friend group and that leads you to finding a partnership or a friend group and a job or vice versa, right? Um, a hobby and a private business endeavor, whatever it is, it kind of feels like it's something that's leading to something else and it's like an elevation process. But yeah, you've been around here before. This is the success story, but be mindful that even though you don't feel like you see or know, you fucking see and know, and those feelings are valid for a reason because you're about to, I don't know, you're about to make really good decisions and really big moves, and it's going to be a bit out of sorts, a bit surreal because I don't it's not following a plan. It's literally like when you're living life and you're just like I'll be here, I'll do that and etc. and then boom something happens that's just fucking magical out of nowhere. No matter big and small, like yeah, that's where you're at. So keep trusting the magic that's leading you, but also keep trusting yourself to be that agent that really shifts and changes the paradigm, the environment, it's your calling card in this case. Um, yeah, it's you kind of being that ma magician. Well, the everything around you is just what it is, you know? Page of Cups. Okay. Yeah. Yep. You have enough to go forward. Express yourself emotionally and don't forget what you've been through that has taught you, because you're going the right way. Something very intricate is occurring currently right now for you. All right, I think that's everything. Yeah, I think that's everything. So, thank you very much for watching. I hope this has been entertaining and fun. I appreciate your time here and your presence, and I will see you hopefully next time again. So, peace out and have a good one. Hello, pile number 5. You got Justice Reverse and it's an 11. Okay. There's some type of ominous flow occurring currently in your life. It feels very much one track, one way. You know, when there's just like a freaking rapid of waters, right? And there's a few of them, but there's that one that just kind of is way more fast and kind of just sucks you in, and that's it. You're gone. Um, this feels like there's something opening up like that in your life currently right now, and it's leading you to I don't fucking know what exactly quite yet. But it can feel really weird right now, like kind of like vertigo, kind of dazed out for you, kind of a little bit foggy in the mind. And life's just fucking occurring and happening. It's kind of like you're going through a portal. But I don't think you've kind of. It's really weird. If we're talking about a physics, it's not like you're actually going through a set portal. It feels like you're going through a portal that's just kind of letting energy outside of itself or around you mm, mix, mismatch, dissolve, come back together. And it's kind of like through that process there's this realignment with you and whatever you're gonna resonate to, and it's gonna like suck you out like to a different route. Like I don't know, you're gonna start rooting somewhere out of nowhere by the end of this portal is basically what I'm saying. Around you, it's kind of like a blender that it's just occurring, like it's just shit occurring and happening. Everything out of it is like without a form. I don't feel anything set. Like nothing is set yet. Is very much important for this pile. So yeah, don't be worried if that's what you're experiencing. If you really want to go to doctors, you should always, do that for yourself. Don't go by just tarot readings. This is entertainment purposes only. But you're gonna be fine. You're not having anything medical occur. You're not having anything bad occur metaphysically, or physically. It's literally like a mental transition into a different energy that's kind of, yeah, it's coming at the soul level first, and then it'll become more fixed and aware for you. Okay. Okay. This is really weird energy message. What the fuck? Where are we going? I might need another deck to clarify today. Okay, so top and bottom, um, God honest truth that you will see there's not gonna be drama or fights with you. Anyone and everyone that's gonna try and like latch onto you or like show some flame or something, they're going to be outed out of your reality really fucking quickly. Mostly, you're just going to be experiencing that disillusionment of um, confusion or choices, both for some of you, when it comes to mental anguish and just like drama or gossip or confusion from other people, or just other people in general and their murky ass energy fucking shit up for you. No hate, no shade, but it just feels like people that like to play nonsense more so than having fixed goals or proper excitement or focus or consciousness or awareness or empathy. It's just people kind of going at it and just being a little bit insecure and childish about some things and topics when you get real. And personally, from the energy, it feels like you're very much over it. Like I like some of y'all, but you bitches need to calm the fuck down. I love you, but fuck. Can we move on? Can we evolve? And I think you're going to be moving towards that new beginning very much steadily, but it's hard. I don't know if that group we just read about is being triggered by that, and there's just weird gimmicks, but it's just not sticking. But you might be having like a lot of weird comments thrown towards you and stuff like that. And another part to it is the inside process of where do I look to next? What do I need to end and begin anew for this to not be normal within my life or reality? Like where am I gonna go? What am I gonna do? I like this card in this deck because there's a lot of atlases in it, basically a lot of maps, right? There's this globe, there's that globe, there's this that looks like a frickin' map to me. If that's not a map, I don't know what the heck it is, honestly. And it's interesting. I only now realize and notice that this person is kind of like made out of different worlds because of all of the different fabrics and styles and topics that are with this individual. I don't know what sword and symbol they're holding up, but it always reminds me that process of like endings and what do you want to see of yourself in your life and your world going forward? Where are you leading with, you know, what part of yourself are you leading with into what part of your own experience? And something is probably going to happen with astrology for most of you. Some type of transition. Feels more like a transition. So I guess like a planet going out of one sign into another, which that's all of astrology. But you know what, when there's retrogrades or other things or whatever the fuck, right? The only thing I'm picking up with that is it's literally just like a point of crossing of a threshold. So whatever you're going to notice to be happening around that time of when you're actually shifting or experiencing new things or ending shit, if you're going to have some type of planetary thing occurring that everyone's either talking about or you will remember quite significantly, probably want to check that out in your astrological chart. Like, how does it transition, or what does it mean, or how does it affect you? Like, if you can check that out and figure it out, that would be very much useful and helpful for you. Because I would assume that you're either, if it feels or sounds like 2 months out from a shakeup, and then from now it would be also like 4 months out, you have like a big change and transition, and you're still setting it up. The only thing that's quite scary in a idea or sense of it or form is relationships. How do you have open and flowing relationships that don't drain you, basically? Because I don't think many people have filled your cup up. I think it's been you filling other people's cups up more, and it's a bit still misty after that fact. Because I think you want relationships that lead you to the sun, lead you to your goals, to your desires, to some type of wish fulfillment, to a happy beginning and end, um, or just beginning and that's it, right? And the question you always hold over any change or new beginning or vibe or contemplation is like, is it gonna fulfill me? Is it is it going to help me keep being stable and steady and happy and healthy and for myself and satisfied, Or am I just going to again be left confused and in the shit? Because I don't want to be confused and in the shit no more. I kind of want to be out of it. I'm just not quite sure where the fuck I'm going quite yet or what I'm doing. So lean into the experience that kind of compounds into because you're already on path. It's already occurring. I think it's just like, yeah, don't let other people drag you back or down, regardless of their relationship to you. If it you know the history and the course of it, or that it's not really worth it, and maybe there's a guilt trip vibe from that, give back energy, claim back your energy, clear and cleanse, recenter into yourself and make that decision of like, no, I don't want to, or yes, I do, because it's really important. That's actually gonna really make it easier for you. You don't need to be perfect for anyone else or do this in anyone else's favor or style. You gotta transition and figure out that new focus point of your own self for yourself, and relationships will only follow suit after that. It's kind of like it has to go to zero so you can start growing it out into another value because those relationships are going to be there. They're going to show up and arrive, but if you're still gonna be kind of split in terms of yourself or where you're going, you're still gonna be open to that. If you completely want to close that off, you can. It depends on what journey you want to take with that. But yeah, make your choices. Make your choices. Know you're in the right for yourself. You don't need to do anything else. And the dissonance that might have shown up in conversations, relationships, or workplaces, or anything else, that just that's the first sign of shifting is because you shift and change and get out of it, and something else is like, well, no, because if you go or change, then I gotta go and change, right? Like it's unavoidable by that point. You take out one value, one person, something like that occurs, right? That's it. The whole baseline is shifted. It's another timeline without that energy being present. So, i.e., in this case, it would be you. So don't hate on them. I don't think it's actually as much personal. You might get some apologies if it goes out of hand a little bit. Um, there's something hidden in the message, but I'm not quite sure what. Don't be afraid of your dark side. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, that's the last thing. Don't be afraid of your dark side. If you're gonna intend to harm, yeah, that's not good. But if it's just like your shadow, your darkness showing up, and it needs to pop out or needs to happen, right? Or whatever the fucking case is, you'll know that it's okay. But you do also need to trust that because power and authority is really hard to manage and accept and understand from ourselves. But once you do that, it really brings everything for you home, honestly. And it's always going to be a learning curve, right? Like who hasn't accidentally said too much in like an argument or maybe been a bit more tough than balanced in some scenarios, but it doesn't have to be common or all the time or a blame or anything else. And if you more express that when the moments are right in the manner that feels right, um, without overdoing it or belittling the other person or anything else like that, right? Just kind of standing your ground, it brings more harmony and stability for you, but for everyone surrounding that situation usually as well. It's unavoidable. That's so weird and interesting. If you're looking or waiting for a relationship, that is an option for you. It's not a guarantee, but it's an option. Don't stress it or force it, but know that you can kind of fall into or flow into something that's going to be like a really good experience for you. We're gonna kind of connect. some stuff, some crepe. It's gonna connect some of like the dissonance still between like you and the ethers, you and the world, you and your experience. I think there's just like some places that don't feel alive quite yet. And there might be a person that comes in to help with that. Um, and I think it'll be good, but most likely also temporary is a possibility. Not for everyone, but yeah. And even then, you gotta use your discernment if it's gonna feel like a long-term or a short-term thing. Because I did kind of pick that out from the fucking trees. Don't ask how, but it just happened. Um, and trees do represent to me roots, obviously, family, stability, branches, all of that, the rest. But I would say that it's still two trees. It's not one tree. So still kind of working with your own stuff, not really making a family or a union or anything else. Um, just being in the same place for the same amount of time for how longer you need to be so you can come out of that stage and really truly bloom because there's still something holding you back and it's kind of, yeah, gonna sort that out. If that doesn't resonate for you, don't get ideas, don't get wacko boo boo, you know what I mean? Love is such a topic that all of us forget a little bit of the vibe we need to kind of have in mind for ourselves, right? Everybody's just looking for love. But anyway, that was it. Yeah, that was it. I hope you enjoyed. I hope this helped you. I hope this was fun because I really enjoyed it. Really good messages today. And yeah, I'm coming back. I just needed a break last week. I appreciate you hopping on by, coming on by. I still do Twitch. I'm still coming back into it. I just had a week off. But if you want to get a private, well, personal reading, but not private, you can do that on my Twitch. I stream twice, maybe sometimes 3 times a week, usually beginning of the week and the end of the week. So yeah.